Okay. Welcome back. So today's stream is going to be a review of a WooCommerce plugin. Um, I was in WooCommerce chat, and I suggested to them, or I asked the question, "Hey, does anybody have any questions about WooCommerce subscriptions?" And John Campbell said, "If you don't come up with any ideas, do a code review of this plugin." So it has 70,000 installs, so let's see what we find. Because it looks interesting. Just setting some stuff up right now. Let's see. I need to get the. I need to get the plugin set up. Okay. So we got a. Local setup. All right. Admin. And I not sure why he suggested this, like if he's using it in a project or something, but I actually had been wanting to do some code review type stuff as some content. So we'll see how this goes as a test. So right, looks like we're streaming good. We got some audio. Okay. All right, so let's go add this plugin. It is the, let's see, WooCommerce Checkout Manager. So I'm going to go to add a new plugin. And WooCommerce Checkout Manager. Let me click on this link. Let me see. Okay, so it's that checkbox icon. So it's this one right here. So 70,000 installs. Looks like there's another one with 200,000 installs. So this one's by Quad Layers. And let's install it. Okay, so while that's installing, I just want to do a quick overview of like what a code review, what I do in a code review. So let's do this. Code review for WooCommerce. All right, so the okay, so first thing is, does the plugin do what it says it will do? Are there, check, debug, log, any smelly code. And smelly code could be like just poor coding styles or stuff like that. Or like just phone home stuff. Is this sending data? Is this sending my data somewhere that I don't want it to be? So, let's see how that goes. Play well with others. And I think that's sort of the question that John brought up, was like, he said the code looks conflict prone. So I had never seen this plugin. I've never installed it. So this is like just opening something up. It's an unboxing of a plugin, actually. So it says it's due. It says it's due. Check the debug log, smiley code, like style, data, that type of thing. Let's see. Phone home. And then I'll probably add to this list as we go along. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is, actually, I'll just open up another one. Let's make this a little bit larger so it's viewable. Let's keep this running in the background. So my text expander is not running. So I just have text expander. I've used it for so long. So we're just going to tail the debug log, and pretty sure we have that running. Just making sure. Hey, you have my database password now. Actually, it's local, so it really doesn't matter. Yeah, debug's true, so we're good on that front. Okay, debug log running. Let's turn this thing on and see if anything blows up. Also, let me just, before we do that, I'm going to turn everything off on this dev site. Let's see. And chat, John said, look at that file. Okay, I'm going to turn it on, make sure the debug is good, and then I'll go check out that file, John. So, okay. Give you a thumbs up. Wow, I'm not very fast at Twitch chat. I'm just going to say gotcha. Cool. Okay. Active 9 plugins. This one's fine. Query monitor. We don't need toolbox for this. We don't need user registration. Query monitor, WooCommerce, cart URL. Don't need that. We'll keep Stripe, and I don't think we need subscriptions. And post-trial fee is the plugin that I had previously. We'll delete or deactivate all that stuff. Okay. Cool. So this is like just a bare minimum WordPress WooCommerce setup, and I know I need to update WordPress. We'll leave that for now. So activate it. Debug logs clear. Awesome. And do we get so we get a admin pop-up like right off the bat. Due to recent WooCommerce changes, it's necessary to reconfigure conditional fields. If you have conditional fields, please go to the billing, shipping, and advanced sections. Okay, so Checkout Manager for WooCommerce quad layers. Version 5. Okay, so there's a premium link. Good for them. Settings. Also, I just want to say I'm not like trying to take down this code. I think you learn so much. I'm not trying to take down this company is what I'm saying. You learn so much by reading other people's code. And there's just so much code out there on WordPress.org and on GitHub. So just keep reading code and learning. It's an awesome thing. So, hey, thanks for following Please Computer. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Do you love my like totally basic stream elements notifications? I totally just turned those on and I didn't have time to customize them. So I'm like, yeah, I'll just use the basic stuff that they got. Okay. So sorry. So, let's see. First, let's look at our checklist. So there's a plugin do what it says it's going to do. So what is this plugin supposed to do? Customize the fields and okay. WooCommerce Checkout Manager customization and fields management alternatives. Okay, this might be English second language deal. There's a bit grammatically off, but no worries. Reorder fields, rename and highlight fields, hide or extend checkout fields within the billing, shipping, and additional sections. Okay, cool. It's plugin built to be the wizard of checkout pages, helps to modify in an intuitive way, allows custom field customizations. Okay, so we're changing the stuff on there. Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thanks, Please Computer. Cool. So we're going to take our checkout page and like level it up with this wizard. Let's see if we can do it. But first, here's the settings page. It adds this is the basic WordPress WooCommerce settings page. No, it looks like they added this checkout. So WooCommerce checkout is over here under payments settings. So this is a custom page added by this plugin with a bunch of options. So that's cool. We'll just leave that there. And then let's go check out the code. Plugins. What is our plugin named? Our directory. So WooCommerce Checkout Manager. Plugins. WooCommerce Checkout Manager. So let's cd over there. Plugins. Can't type. WooCommerce Checkout Manager. Okay. So I have PHP Storm set up to do some basic linting. So that's why we see all the squiggly lines and the dots here. It's just complaining about stuff. So that's one thing, like right off the bat, that that is they didn't necessarily lint this or put it up against WordPress code standards, which it's really not a big deal. Just a preference thing. So we have a main file here. They use the WC tested, which is awesome. I'm actually going to keep a list of like pros and cons. So WC, they use WC tested, which will, that'll tell people who are going to use it, like, is this plugin tested up to a certain version of WooCommerce, and then like a minimum version as well. So that's always great to include in your plugins. So we're checking abs path defined, if not leave. That's just sort of security issue. So what this is complaining about is it just needs a bunch of spaces, like space after parentheses, space after defined, space for the argument there. So if I just space it out, then the linter's like cool, then it leaves it alone. That's the deal. This one's, it's using tabs for indents, it's using 2 spaces instead of tab. So that plus some spaces figures it out. So like you can see how this code probably works. It's just not WordPress coding standards, which is no biggie. So we're going to define a bunch of constants here. And then we have looks like a main class included. And then they call an instance from a global function here. Yeah, it's totally squished. I agree. So if you have PHP-BF set up, Code Beautifier, so you can just BF. So PHP Code Beautifier I use standards WordPress Extra. There's WordPress VIP. There's WordPress Core. You can just run it on this file, and you can watch all of these go away. WooCommerce Checkout Manager. So that'll run Code Beautifier on that file, and then when it refreshes, boom, it's all beautiful, and much more easier to read without the squigglies. There's one here, and that name is not snake case format, is what it's complaining against. So that cleaned that whole file up. There's a space up here that's not necessary. So I just delete that, and then I carriage return there, and my editor will just compress that PHP doc. So it's just a lot easier to scan the file with all that stuff cleaned up. But everything else looks good. We can run PHP code sniffer against it, and see there's one error, and it's just that case, that snake case format, which it's not a big deal. Cool. So that main class is in includes. Okay, let's look at so the setup here of the plugin directory looks great. There's a basic README, which is what's included from the WordPress.org. They got an assets folder split out between backend and front end. That's what WooCommerce Core does. That looks awesome. So far, includes folder with all of the PHP files, a languages pot file for translations, and then a template customization here. So the main class we're going to look at is this class Woo CCM. Let's find that Woo CCM, and that is okay. Again, the squigglies. we'll just deal with that for now. So it's going to pull an instance of this class, and then there's no docs, like cons, no docs, no PHP, or limited, actually none. So if there's no PHP doc, it's hard for other developers to come in and figure this stuff out. I can do a class lookup here, so I can just see, they have a constructor at their instance creator. Some method called field includes register scripts, which is probably descriptive enough. Clear session, init session, and then is min, which is related to their, probably related to the register scripts, but some PHP doc would be nice. Okay, so there's tabs all over the place. We're not going to fight that battle here. So we have, what are we doing in our constructor? We are pulling in a couple more files, the install file, the notices file. Got an activation hook, which is probably why I got that. Which is probably why I got the, some of these things up here when I turned on the plugin. Load your text domain for the translations file, and then we're hooking into WooCommerce init. So this is some high level stuff, and then order processed. So init's going to call this method, this local method to this class. Init session includes field, and since we're dealing with checkout fields, that's probably what that is. And then we're going to hook into WooCommerce checkout order processed. So this is after the customer has checked out. They're probably going to be collecting any custom fields that they add to the checkout at this point, or they say clear session. So what is clear session? They literally are just clearing the session. Okay, the Woo CCM. So this is a plugin specific data set that they're putting into the session, which is probably pulled in via this init session. So let's look at that. So init session, okay, this is hurt my eyes. Let's clear this up. It includes BF class. Okay, are we clear? We're clear. Nice. Okay. Init session is going to, if there's a WooCommerce session, so if that's been started and they don't already have a Woo CCM property set for the session, then they're going to create one. And it's going to have fields, fees, and files. So fee, fi, fo, fum. Fields, fees, and files. So, and then we don't care about ismin. Let's close that. So we set up a session. We tear down the session when they're checked out, and checkout is complete. Localizing some scripts. That's fine. Okay. Some random PHP that doesn't need to be there. You know what I'm going to do? I'll just get in it, and I'm just going to add everything to a local repo, so I can keep track of everything. Git commit plugin with some PHP, or the base plugin. Base plugin with some basic PHP. BF. And checkout branch, code review. Okay, so we're just on a code review branch so we can keep everything straight and see what we added. So this makes sense. So we're going to init a session, clean it up when we're done, localize some scripts, which is interesting. Localizing means we're going to add it to the page when it's loaded. So we're going to add some messages, some icons, and these are under WP includes. So these are WordPress specific stuff. WP includes images, media, interactive. Okay, so yeah, maybe those are for the admin side. Register script, localize. Okay, so this, go back here. So yeah, init session includes in fields, field. So field branches out and then pulls in 3 types of field: billing, shipping, and additional. That makes sense. That matches up with what WooCommerce has. The includes then pulls in a whole slew of other files. And then register scripts. Okay, so let's go see what else we have. Plugins. Checkout. Is this where we're at? Checkout Manager. Okay, so we have a view. So that's interesting. So they have like an MVC type setup here. Okay, so let's check that first entry point. So we're going to pull in a bunch of fields, have a compatibility check. Let's see what that is. Class WooCCM compatibility. Again, no PHP doc. What does this do? This is just in it itself. Yeah, so it calls its own instance once it's pulled in. So once this file is included, it will init itself with a lot of these private settings. Minimize that. Okay, the instance will just create a new self, and I'm doing the BF again. Class WooCM compat. Am I not in the right directory? I need to be in the includes directory. Okay. BF of class WooCCM compatibility. Okay. That did not clean it up. Did I do the wrong one? No fixable errors found. Okay, it just took a second to refresh. Okay, so we have this big old to old types, old to old args. Construct. So there's a couple of options. Do you want to do some stuff with the billing, shipping, or additional? And then that's pretty much it. Get new fields. Okay. So I believe this is, I'm not sure why this is called compatibility. I don't know what compatibility it's checking. New panel compatibility. This get new args. So I guess this is an upgrade from a previous version. They used to store it in a different way, and then now they store it in this way. Old to old args, replace keys, parse args. Is there like a save? Get new args, get new type, get new field name, get option. Old to old args, disabled order priority name. Yeah, this just looks like the admin settings page. So this page here within WooCommerce settings on the checkout tab, we have a really huge. So I just asked the question, how did you select the plugin to review? I just asked in community Slack. And John suggested it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so these settings, old to old, these mappings are so weird. Again, little PHP dot goes a long way, y'all. What are you doing? Disabled order priority cow. All right, type label. This probably relates to this. Billing, shipping, advanced. Let's see what these tabs have. Okay, so this is something that's pretty normal in these type of plugins. So we have the plugins, the fields that correspond to a checkout page. So let's add an item to our cart. Let's order a Happy Ninja. Go to checkout. And billing, we've got billing details. Shipping is hidden because by default we have them shipping to the billing address. But if I click there, then we get that other set. And then the additional section is down here. It's not really called additional, but it's sort of a third panel of checkout fields. So when you see first name, last name, company, those are sort of the standard WooCommerce checkout fields. And you can see here they're represented in their settings page, and then they're active. Left, right, looks like they're going to do some, so this moves left, right. This moves, adds some CSS to organize the fields. So if I change this to wide and save changes, then my first name will be wide, and last name is still to the right, which looks wonky. So let's change that back to left. Okay, so that's actually a nice setting. No debug errors so far. Awesome. Everything else looks pretty standard. So interesting. They have, and these are required. So if I want to disable company and disable phone, because who needs a phone? And save those changes. Company is gone and phone is gone. Fantastic. So these, going back to the code, this is not what this is. Anyways, I'm gonna get out of this class. Some PHP doc would be great. Not sure what compatibility means. Doesn't look like it's doing anything crazy. Not sure where those options are saved yet, but that's okay. Okay, so that was the compatibility class. Back in the main class, then it calls this CCM field billing instance. Command B will take me directly there, my IDE. Again, let's do some cleanup. BF on model / class WooCCM field billing. Okay, clean that up. So this is, let's see what this looks like. So instance, pretty basic. This is extending a basic CCM field. So we have the settings, the billing, and then the other, or the additional, all extending this class. Not really a lot of functionality here. CCM field. So looking back at our list, like, does a plugin do what it says to do? So far, so good. Nothing in the debug log. Haven't seen any smelly code other than stuff that's no PHP doc. Does it play with well with others? So far, we haven't really tested that because we haven't added on any other checkout field plugins or functionality, or seen sort of how it injects itself in there. So about 30 minutes in, I have a meeting this afternoon, so I have to cut it off at an hour. So let's try and see what we can see before then. This is pretty basic. So this sets up the default fields of country, first name, last name, company, which is what you see here. And then that's about it. So looking at this base class, that it extends. Again, cleanup. CCM field. I don't know why this isn't model. I'm not sure why they need a model directory for that. Oh, this one is in model. Model / class WooCCM field .php. Okay, let's look at this one. So this is the class that all the others are going to extend. Let's clean this one up. All right, a little bit of cleanup. This one actually wasn't too bad. Okay, so this does not have a constructor. It's just a class that extends the model, and it has a require once in there, so that'll pull in that model. So this is how they're saving the classes, or saving the fields that they modify. Yeah, get field, add field, delete field. It's all saved inside of this class. So let's just take a quick review of this. Order fields, duplicate name. This is like, I guess there's a duplicate option in here. So I can click that and reorder it. And these just move up singularly. Edit the field. Pulls up a modal. Kind of a funky modal. Parent value. Okay. Get premium version. Buy our plugin. Close. Oh, are we stuck? No, we're just waiting. Wow, I didn't like me hitting that close a couple times. My page died. Okay. Oh, it was trying to connect to debug. Whoops. Let's turn that off. Disable. So it wasn't me. It was not the plugin. It was my setup. Okay. So debug is turned off, and I closed. See if I open that now and close it, it goes away. Still pretty slow, but okay. Okay, so this is just functionality for the fields. Normally on a normal code review with more time, I sort of just read through a bunch of the stuff. And I have another list of things that I go through to just search the code and see what's being done. Another thing you can do is, again, code sniff on model class WooCom or WooCCM PHP. I'll do that just in a sec, John. So, couple warnings. There's missing visibility on args, Yoda condition on line 241. So 241, what they're saying is this just additional just needs to be over here on this side, because if you take this equals out, then you're actually assigning it, which is not what you want to do there. Assignments may be the first block of a code line, and then another not strict. Okay, so John said, search this file in your current file for remove all filters. Let's check it out. That was the front end class fields. So includes view, front end, and fields filters. So for sake of time, we are going to the file that John wanted to look at. BF again. Includes view, front end, class, WooCCM, fields, filters. Okay. And then just do a CS on that for grins. Okay, so no code sniffing errors other than class name, which is an annoying thing in WooCommerce or in WordPress sniffs. It's just annoying to have that class appended. Not using strict comparison. Okay, so we're looking for, that remove all filters. Did I change my screen? Let's see. I'm not finding it. Is that am I in the right? Am I in the right file? Field filters. It was in the main field class. Okay. So backing up, that was over here in view. Yeah, which one was that? I totally closed all my. Let's see. Let's see. Remove all filters. I will check for it. It is CCM field. That's the base one. Oh, commented code. Boo. Not tidy. Not tidy at all. Okay. So this is what John was looking at. Yeah. Sorry, it was the model. Sorry, I'm a little slow on the uptick there. So this is going to be called get default fields. And concerning because remove all filters, like all of them, beginning in WooCommerce. Why would they need to do that? WooCommerce prefix fields, and then get the address fields. So they're getting the default fields from this setting. And then they did a couple of iterations here. Filters equal this fix nesting level, remove filters. Remove filter, singular, is going to remove the function from a specified filter hook. And then remove all filters. This is called, okay, so first let's figure out where it's called from. Get the defaults. And it's probably called here. Nope. Where's get defaults called from? So it's probably in a setup of all the fields that they're going to be using. And let's see how many fields we're talking. Get all filters, WooCommerce prefix fields. Like, John, seems like this would remove all billing or shipping field filters, screwing over other plugins. Yeah. That is interesting. So I happen to have a plugin that uses this. I believe. Let me think what I have to just test this compatibility. Let's see. And I wonder if there's any. So the concern is, WooCommerce uses a method of adding in these fields to checkout. Let me find it. So WooCommerce includes I'm looking for checkout, but it's not there. WooCommerce includes checkout. Checkout field, checkout form. So this pulls in a template to display the checkout form. Can't go there. This pretty much what you're saying is they're blowing away all the fields and adding in only their own, which is an issue in case you want to use another plugin to add in a specific section. And then there might be an issue with their site because of this filter removal. Yeah, I can see that. Let me check this templates real quick. Form billing. So WooCommerce fields. So these are wrappers, get checkout fields. This is calling, and then for each of the field, we're going to display the field. So in WooCommerce Checkout, we have get checkout fields. They add the default. This is WooCommerce adding country, shipping country, and then all of these fields. Get address fields, and then returning a field set. I'm not seeing any filters. Yeah, apply filters. WooCommerce checkout fields. So WooCommerce assembles the fields, the default fields that it knows about, and then it hands it over to any plugins like this one to modify this field array using WooCommerce checkout fields. Let's see if that lines up. Back in the WooCommerce _ prefix checkout field. So this prefix. Okay, so it's removed. Okay, there's a prefix assigned, which is nothing. Prefix field ID. Let's see what this. I think the prefix might save it. It might be the removing of the fields might be limited just to that. Yeah, probably billing or shipping. Let's find out. Let's debug. Okay, so I set a breakpoint here so we can see when this get default fields is called, probably on the checkout page. So let's go to the checkout page and reload. And debug should be triggered. Nope, haha, I turned it off, remember? Okay, debug. Okay, here we are. So we are in WooCommerce field get default fields, and we're being called from get default fields, called from get defaults. So we are in the billing. We're trying to get the billing fields first. Shipping will come next, and then the additional. So the prefix is billing. Yep, that's what you said. Prefix is billing, and then we're going to call remove all filters on WooCommerce, then the prefix billing _ fields. Did I spell that right? Why does that look so weird? WooCommerce billing. Let me just copy it from here. So this is going to be WooCommerce, missing a G, billing fields. So anything that calls that filter will be blown away. So remove all filters. And we are at a point in execution where we're like past PHP, WooCommerce init, because that's where this whole plugin is hooked into. Okay. Let's see if WooCommerce itself has, let's minimize all that. Actually, let me finish this page load. So I'm going to hit play and it'll come through. And you can see now it's pulling the shipping fields, and then hit play again. It'll come through. We're still in shipping. And then I think you'll be done. Yeah, so it's just those two. So let's see if your hypothesis is right, sir. So anything that's using that filter. They check that it isn't additional. Yeah, that's interesting. So nothing there. I think I have some code here. Let's see. I have some other plugins that might do this. Or we could just add one. Let's add one to, oh my gosh, I can't think of this right off the top of my head. Does Bookings have it? Bookings gotta have it. Trying to find an example. File mask, WooCommerce billing fields, filter. Advanced notices, messages. Looking for some plugin that would have conditional, like add-ons, right? Like pre-orders, product add-ins might have, instead of having to write one to see if it pulls it out. I'm trying to find one. I'm not finding that filter. Product bundles. Shoot, I'm just going to search the whole thing. So the question is this Checkout Manager, that's this one we're in, adding a filter to add the billing fields using this filter. Does anybody else even use that filter, John? What do you think? Like I have a bunch of plugins here that are going to, there are, do some updates of the checkout page, but it doesn't seem like they're using that filter to hook into. Filter application line may have variables in it, hard to search. It is. Totally. So like it could be, what you're saying is it could just be WooCommerce, and then we get a whole ton of matches. Apply filters, space that. Right, because it might be billing or shipping. So this is in getting a lot of hits in abstract WooCommerce product. I wish my regex was better and I could do a regex search, because I just want to WooCommerce underscore a whole bunch of text and then fields. Yeah, totally hard to search. Okay, so just doing a visual search right now. Apply filters, WooCommerce underscore billing fields. Shipping, pay, emails, email order. Okay, not finding any. Let's add our own. Okay, so I'm using storefront. I'm going to throw some code into functions to hook into that. So what do we want? Apply filters with our filter. And grow dev underscore billing fields. And let's give it a priority of 10. And what parameters we're going to add. So I'm going to make this filter, and we're going to see if it gets killed. Okay. Okay, a couple things to do. We want to see what this... I don't know if there's any parameters for this. Let's just see if this gets run. Ooh, I can just... function. I'm talking and typing too quickly. It probably takes a parameter and then returns a parameter, right? Shoot. It'll give me an error if I'm missing parameters. So some param, and then just return it, which is probably like an array of the filters. Or, yeah, return array of the fields, not filters. So we want to do that, and it's going to complain at me because I don't have enough or the correct parameters. So it'll complain here. It's going to hit my debug again, aren't you? Gosh darn it. Go. So let's try this first. Let's error log here, and throw a breakpoint there. So we should, if this runs, we'll know. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off this plugin to see. Because I mean, if it's removing it actually, then we're never going to get there, are we? How did you find this, John? Like, were you working on this plugin and you saw this code? Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome, Scott. Xdebug is amazing. Just to be able to see a snapshot of what you're working with, you know? Okay, let's go back to so the plugin's turned off. I just want to make sure that this filter is firing. So reload, and I don't see it firing. So we got an error log in there, and we have a breakpoint, and we are debugging, but we didn't get hooked in there. So it may not be something that's being fired. May not be concerning. Let me go to the cart. The cart wouldn't have billing fields, so I'm just making sure. Proceed to checkout. And I'm in storefront, so this should be run. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't do anything anymore. That is highly possible. But it's interesting. So, like, I think, John, your attitude is right. I think it was a good call to question this, especially with the, this gibberish of commenting out before it. It's like, what are you doing? And again, man, wouldn't it be nice if they're just like hey, this is for our own cleanup. Like, it's just something helpful, or something like that. Just a little note, a little hat tip to future developers working on this. So, like, yeah, it's still with the no PHP doc. There's no commented code. It's a little hard to use, because when you're a user and you grab stuff off of WordPress.org, like, store managers aren't going to think about this. They're just going to be like, "Ooh, great functionality. Let me add it." And from what I could tell, it actually does what it says it's going to do. Let me verify that real quick. So I'm going to reactivate it, and let's just add a add a checkbox or a text field. So re-adding it. This local's a little slow. That's okay. Go into settings. I have all these tabs open. I'm sure one of them is the same thing. And I'm just going to add a field. Oh, really? So you're currently dealing with it. Issues in the front end. Field filters currently affecting you. They override how WooCommerce form fields works for anyone using that method. They put the labels for select and checkbox fields in the value property. Oof. Okay. That doesn't sound good. Let me just add a field here and then test that it does and turn off my little debuggers. Deactivate, disable. That's interesting. Let's see if that is the case. So I'm going to add a field under billing, and let's call it, I can't change my field. Okay, text, label, Twitch handle, or Twitch channel. Let's do that. Placeholder, what is your channel, question mark. This is a description. There's no default, no max length. I don't care about conditionals. Save. Keep that debug up. So if I go to checkout, refresh. So I got my Twitch channel with my description and that. Great. So yeah, it does what it says it's going to do. So they are overriding how WooCommerce form field works for anyone using that method. So what John's saying is overriding WooCommerce form field. Let's see. So going back to the WooCommerce checkout class, it'll add the checkout fields. This is what WooCommerce core does. It adds checkout fields, and then it hands them over to the template. Right here, WC get template, form billing. And then the form billing goes through and says, okay, get checkout fields. Actually, I said it handed over. It's wrong. The template gets included. The template calls back to the checkout class, grabs the fields, which have been possibly modified by additional plugins, which this one does, because we're adding and removing stuff. And then it just throws them out to WooCommerce form fields. So this is what you're saying is this plugin modifies how WooCommerce form fields used, which could be a problem because I know other plugins might want to use that. So let's see where that is in this plugin. We're going back to plugins. This would be easier if I just did this. To here. Will this take me there? Yes. Okay. WooCommerce form field. So bunch of filters. Is it redefining it? Color picker field calls WooCommerce form field for it. This is a country field calls WooCommerce form field. Look at the bottom of the filters. Okay. And then, so this is a helper function from WooCommerce that it outputs these fields in a uniform way. And it takes a whole bunch of these arguments so you can define how it's used. They probably are overriding it because they have these options. Like they have all of these doodads and stuff that they're using. So that's probably why they're overriding it. But let's go look. Back in that filters file. Includes, you said it was the model, field filters. Field filters. Okay, it's in the view front end filter. The bottom. Fields instance. WooCommerce form field radio. So it's adding a filter priority 10, and it's calling this custom field function. Custom fields. So checks the arguments and it outputs. So we're outputting HTML here. That's what you're saying. And here's the field itself, or here's some additional stuff. And then we have a select. We're modifying radio, select, multi-select, multi-checkbox, file, and then returning the field. So are they removing filter on any of the other ones? No. Because WooCommerce form field, this form is going to call WooCommerce form field. Apply filters on the args. And then this is WooCommerce form field with a specific type. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. So what you're saying is this is going to change the output. Let's see. Let's get a... Okay, I'm going to turn it off again. Have you tried turning it off, on and off again? Okay. Okay, so this is without the plugin. Let's make sure I got that right. So the plugin's off, and your concern is the markup of this. So here's I'm going to save this over here. And then I'll turn the plugin back on. Activate. Okay, that worked. So we should have my Twitch channel. Yeah, okay, so the additional one's there. So first name is here. And where's the input? Input, billing first name. Okay, let's see what it looks like without. So this is without the plugin. P, paragraph, field wrapper, paragraph there. Is this on the screen? I can't tell. So the left is the modified, and then the right is the label, abbreviation, input, span, input. They look kind of the same. Is there a specific one that, a specific input that was modified? In the value property of the options. Oh, derp. Yeah, you already said that, the options. Okay. So are you talking about an option over here? Like a radio box? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. But that doesn't mean it's not there. Doesn't mean it's not there. Man, I trust you. I believe, yeah, so I'm a bit out of time because I'm a little late for a meeting, and that's not a great thing. Gonna wrap up on this. So actually, let's look at my... So does the plugin do what it says it's going to do? As far as I could tell, yes, it totally did. Debug logs clean throughout, so they obviously took some care there. Didn't really look for smelly code. There could have been some. Usually with the plugins that are doing some of this kind of stuff, suggestions like here's their promoting other plugins. And then I usually check like for a what is it? WP remote. Remote post. Like, is anything leaving? Checkout manager, finding paths. You see this sort of quickly. Posts, get. So they're pulling in, a couple things. So no remote posts, not sending anything that I can tell. Are they using curl? No, curl. Like, so there might be a way that they're sending data out of this, but from super quick looking, not seeing anything. So no phone homes. They're storing. I couldn't figure out how they're saving these filters or where they're saving the new fields. And then play well with others is really TBD, because John said the radio in chat. Sorry, dude. If you look at the radios and selects, you can see how they use the label in place of the value in their code. So so some way, I definitely see that they are changing the way these are output, which, as you said, may not work well with others. But I think you'd probably only be using one of these. Okay, we're talking like standard base store manager who's not technical, not a developer like you. They'd probably be only using one of these plugins to manage their checkout fields. And if they pulled in another one, then they could probably trip over themselves. But you're a developer and you're working in the code and trying to maybe add some styles and some look and feel to those radio buttons. And so that's where it conflicts, and you're not going to go and change their code because it's a .org plugin. So you have to work around that. I totally see that would be a challenge. I think in this case, this plugin developer needed to get something working. And what they're doing is pretty complex, adding this level of functionality to the front end of the site, to the admin, to be able to modify these checkout fields. And they took a little bit of liberty. They might have stretched it there, and with modifying how that's output, and maybe not helping people like you who are trying to theme it and style it. Not a terrible thing, but yeah, I can definitely see where it will be annoying for you. I wonder if there's a GitHub of their code. You could probably put that issue in there and just get some feedback. It's awesome when .org repos have a GitHub repo, or at least an open Git repo somewhere where you can go and add this comments. I've had people add comments and give code to the one .org plugin I still have push over, and I've included that, and it's great. Maybe they have a repo that you can give this suggestion to, like, don't do what you're doing here because it breaks this. Yeah. So you're saying plugin like Teams uses the form field to display a role selection dropdown and the value of the role. Yep. Because the plugin breaks it. So better if they're going to take this level of customization and manage these checkout fields in this plugin, maybe don't change the function of WooCommerce form field, which is a core WooCommerce function name. Instead, use your own, Woo CCM form field or something. Namespace it and put it somewhere else where it's not going to conflict with somebody else. And then put some freaking documentation in on how another developer would come in and extend the code that you built. All good things. I hope you figure out how to do this, John. Thanks for the suggestion, man. It was very interesting to dig into this code. I definitely want to do some more code reviews, just to see what people are doing out there with their code and what it looks like. So yeah, I appreciate it. That's the end of the stream. I'm late from my meeting, so I need to go apologize on that. But thanks, John. Thanks for everybody who was in chat. I appreciate it. Oh, you're moving away from the plugin. Oh man. I hope you let me know what you find that's better. Modifying checkout fields is something a lot of stores can do to just sort of personalize their checkout. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.